Hello, my name is Quinn Cottrell, and I am proud to represent the USU Aggie team. Like I said, my name is Quinn Cottrell, and I am a United States citizen, and I have an undergraduate degree in economics, and I'm currently an MBA candidate. Daniel Godoy is from Brazil. He has spent his entire working career in finance. He was CFO of a large multinational corporation that managed billions of dollars, and is also currently an MBA candidate. Clint Kunz is from the United States. He has an undergraduate degree in international relations and is currently an MBA candidate. Based upon the information given in the risk room, we determined the lowest risk countries to be Australia, Chile, and Botswana. This was determined based upon a combined score of both the economic and political scores in 2015. We then took these scores and weighted them to highlight the nuances of the mining industry. As seen in this table, we weighted the political and social stability factors on a scale from 1 to 2. This means that the areas we felt were of greater importance to the mining industry were weighted 100% greater than the factors that didn't affect the mining industry as much. We weighted the economic and business environment on a scale from 1.2 to 2.2. This also means that the factors that more directly affect the mining industry are affected 100% greater than the non-factors. Furthermore, after research, we decided to weight all economic and business factors by 20%. If you now take those same rankings that were given us and adjust them based upon the weighted riskiness levels, the country's ranking changes. Australia's risk becomes lower than the United States, and Rwanda beats out Botswana for the fourth best nation. Another factor that we wanted to take into account was a nation's variance from year to year. We noticed that over the 20-year video, some nations moved around significantly, and others remained relatively constant in their levels of political stability and business environment. All other things being equal, we felt that the countries that were more stable would be less risky. As seen in these above diagrams, Rwanda from 2010 to 2015 had significant levels of movement. We decided to take these levels of variance into account to help determine which nations would be the least risky. As seen from the diagram, when a nation's level of variance is added to the weighted rankings, the rankings change. The US becomes less risky than Australia, and Botswana beats out Rwanda.
Based upon the weighted factors for the mining industry and variance of each risk level during the last 5 years, the top nations that should be considered are Australia, Chile, and Botswana. The main risk that faces Australia and Chile is a shared dependence upon China. As seen in the graph, both Chile and Australia score in the first quartile for China slowdown. These countries also face government burdens and extra costs. Botswana faces the risk of state failure and rule of law relative to other nations. In order to mitigate these main risks, we've developed a few different recommendations. First, hematite capital can search out distressed firms that export and import to a variety of countries, which would make them less vulnerable to a Chinese recession. When it comes to the burden of government, hematite could seek out firms in areas where the burden of government regulation is lower on the local level. It could also look for local governments that are seeking growth and investments, which might lead to certain tax breaks. In the case of Botswana, hematite could consider looking for mining companies in geographically safe areas where the local population is more affluent and settled, or firms that have a private security force that make sure their mines are protected. If state failure and rule of law risks are mitigated enough, Rwanda could be considered in the top 3 countries again. Future due diligence should consider the risks of natural disasters, disease outbreaks, and cultural issues. For example, Chile is ranked 154th on a list of which countries are safest in terms of natural disasters. Botswana is ranked 169th by the World Health Organization in terms of health system performance. Rwanda has a history of major ethnic issues, and some countries may be against foreign investors, especially in the case where a country has a strong level of resource nationalism.